satisfied. Welcome to the Philippines, ma'am, sir.
Yes,
The country of beautiful people inside and out. So enjoy your stay here in the Philippines. Anyway, today we will have lots of wisdom, learning, and fun. So I hope you're ready for this two-day event. This is the ESD 3.0, or the Electronic Systems and Technologies Roadshow 3.0. I am Maynard S. Nilabay. I'm also a young engineer. I'm 26 years old. I'm not yet married, but very willing to have a child. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, delegates from different industries all over the country, guests from outside the 7,000 plus islands of the Philippines, welcome to the Electronic Systems and Technologies Roadshow 3.0, building a connected Philippines towards digital transformation. This event is brought to you by the IECEP Foundation Incorporated in partnership with TIA, the Telecommunications Industry Association, BC, and PLDT Smart Telecoms. This event will also not be possible without the support of our major sponsors, Leviton and Fiber Home International Technologies Philippines Incorporated. We also acknowledge our major partners for this event: TV5, Jump 88.3, Magic 89.9, K-Lite 103.9, and Crossover. Also, during our two-day event, you may visit the booths of our exhibitors to know about their company and what they can offer for you. And of course, maybe, or maybe hopefully, to win some exciting freebies. We have exhibitors from Big C, Southeast Asia, Schneider, Unicabuar Industries Incorporated, Siemens Micro Village Incorporated, Extinguished Incorporated, Actest, Brother International Philippines Corporation, Fiber Rex, YFC Home Eagle International Incorporated, Wrigley Viali, Ardent Networks Incorporated, Integrated Security and Automation Incorporated, Z Argus Filipinas Incorporated, LS Simple, CK Teco, AWS Distribution Philippines Corp, Rigatech, and Apex Incorporated. The following organizations also play big roles to make this event as smooth as possible. Thank you so much, Radio Engineering Circle, Rapid Emergency Telecoms Team, or the RED Philippines, IECEP Rizal Students, and BC Southeast Asia. Alright, are you all ready? Are you all ready, everyone? Okay, may I request everybody to get some energy right now? May I request everybody to please stand? Please stand. Okay, let's just do some icebreaker, okay? May I request everybody to shake your hands like this, and then clap like this. Wow. Wow, thank you so much for the standing ovation. You may now take your seat. Okay, to formally start our program, may I ask everyone again, please stand, as we grace this momentous event with the Lord's presence, with the invocation to be led by Engineer Ben Andres, ACPE PEM, and member of the Board of Trustees of the IECEP Foundation. Of course, please remain standing after the invocation for the singing of the Philippine National Anthem.
May I invite everyone to the prayer line to heaven and invoke the presence of omnipotent God as we are to hold our two-day Electronic Systems Technologies 3.0. Ever-mighty God, we thank you for the blessings you are continuously showering upon us. Blessings which are beyond we deserve. A huge gratitude for having IECEP Foundation Incorporated, officers and trustees, Institute of Electronic Engineers of the Philippines, officers and directors, for laying fertile ground in support of our passion for lifelong learning. Big C and other industry partners, government organizations, non-government organizations, who are unselfishly sharing their respective resources to sustain the provision of continuing professional development, and for having indispensable members of our ECD, ECE, PECE professionals who are the very reason of our bonding together as one family or community. Lord God, we pray for the forgiveness of our sins without hypocrisy. Oftentimes, unwanted sinners are penetrating our spiritual lives. We are very sorry for this. Help us to filter this as we face challenges in our earthly sojourn. We pray for our sponsors that their sharing of resources will return in hundredfolds. For our resource speakers to have extraordinary wisdom and strength in the delivery of their respective subject matter expertises. We pray that our participants gain knowledge, skills, and values from what we transpire from this event. And we pray for the success of this ESP 3.0. In advance, we also pray for the food that we are to partake in the conduct of this convention and exhibit. We pray for all peace and prosperity. We pray for better Philippines, in political stability and economic recovery. Bless us, O Lord, our gathered here, including our respective loved ones, friends, and relatives, who are not with us. All this we pray to generate harmonies for your honor and glory.
Thank you so much. You may now take your seat. To deliver this welcome address is a person who is considered by most electronics engineers as the guiding light, the pillar of the institution. He has served the organization in various capacities until his presidency and being the executive director of IECEP in 1996. In 2000, as president of the Philippine Technological Council, he signed a memorandum of agreement with Professional Regulations Commission and Commission on Higher Education to establish the APEC Engineers Registry in the Philippines. As two-term president of Philippine Federation of Professional Association in 2004 and 2005, he initiated the findings of House Bill 2007 an act providing for automatic membership of professional organizations for other purposes. In 2009, as National President of IECEP, he initiated and drafted House Bill 8969 to amend PD 1096, the National Building Code of the Philippines. In 2013, as member of the technical panel, drafted a CN Chartered Professional Engineer Register Assessment Statement. He was the country registrar for a CN Engineering Registry, an alternate member of the APEC Engineering Registry and ACBER National Monitoring Committee. In 2014, as Vice Chair of Ad Hoc Committee under the Professional Regulatory Commission, led the drafting of the Philippine Electronics Code 2014, namely Book 1, Telecommunication Facilities Distribution System, Book 2, Fire Detection and Alarm System, Book 3, Cable Television System, and Book 4, Distributed Antenna System. Currently, he is the President and member of the Board of Trustees of the Electronics Engineers of the Philippines Foundation, Incorporated. With pride and honor, a big round of applause to Engineer Romulo R. Agadem, BECE, a CN Engineer, APEC Fan.
Good morning. Okay. Magandang umaga sa inyo lahat. Okay, so I'm glad to see all of you. And I have sleepless night when we are organizing this thing. Because as of yesterday, we have only about 100 registrants. And I'm glad that I see all of you here today. So I will not be, I prepared 3 pages of my speech, welcome speech. But due to time constraint, I reduce it to 1 page. And I don't have to mention all the names, but I just mention those I still remember. They say, you know, you cannot remember when you are already in your single moments. Anyway, good morning again. And thank you for all for coming here and joining us today. We are pleased to be able to welcome you. Those masyadong mali kung ginamit sa akin. We are pleased to be able to welcome you, those you that have been with us for some time now, as well as those who are new to our association. Today marks our 3rd seminar, dubbed as EST3, Electronic System and Technology. We are very proud to be able to host it today here at SNX MOA with all of you. Just before we get started, I would like to express my gratitude. All of you are so generously help us make this event together smoothly. Our partners, Smart PLDT, Big C Southeast Asia, our supporting organization, the Telecommunication Industry Association, the Department of Information and Communication Technology, the Department of Public Works and Highways, major sponsors like Leviton and Fiber Home, our media partners, TV5, Daylight, Jam 88, Crossover and 89.9 Magic, all our partners, our student volunteers, and others which one or other make this event possible. We could have done without you. During the next few months, IECEP Foundation, you will be getting to know more about our different initiatives. Through our planned activities and a special event where you will be able to join in and get your very own hands and experiences. I hope that this will prove to be memorable and fulfilling for you. These are, of course, not only the things that are important here to us. We'll also be meeting lots of new people and making new friends along the way. Here at IECEP Foundation, IECEP National, we value and cherish the friendship we make as they, more often than not, prove to be formed on a strong common ground, which in turn made them last for many, many years to come. I think I have gone through long enough, though I cut short some of my speeches. Actually, as I said, because I was given 15 minutes. So to give more time to our plenary speakers, I have to stop from here so that I can give more time to our plenary speaker before all you got word today. So again, maraming salamat po sa inyo lahat. And welcome to our third EST, and now declare this EST 3 open. Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat.
Thank you so much, Sir Romy. Don't worry about the senior moments because, you know, when I was in college, one of my mentors told me that nothing beats the wisdom of the old. So this is a compliment because, of course, nothing really beats the wisdom of a person who has really gone through all these experiences in ages or decades, maybe. So thank you so much, Sir Romy. You are an inspiration. So again, I would like to acknowledge our sponsors for this event. Again, this event is organized by the IECEP Foundation Incorporated in partnership with TIA, BC, and PLDT and Smart Telecommunications. Of course, our major sponsors for this event are Navicon and Fiber Home International Technologies Philippines Incorporated. Again, during the break, you will be having your time to visit the booths of our exhibitors, namely BC Southeast Asia, Schneider Unicap War Industries Incorporated, Shion's Microvillage Incorporated, Extinguished Incorporated, Acutest, Brother International Philippines Corp, Fiber Rex, YFC Bone Eagle International Incorporated, Wrigley Viavi, Ardent Networks Incorporated, Integrated Security and Automation Incorporated, Z Argus, LS Simple, ZK Teco, AWS Distribution Philippines Corp, Riatech, Apex Incorporated. And again, thank you to the supporting groups, Radio Engineering Circle, Red Philippines, IECEP Result Students, and BC Southeast Asia. Thank you so much. Let's give them a round of applause, please. Give them a round of applause because during the break when you visit the booths, you will win exciting freebies. Who knows what will you win during those time, okay? For this event, we'll be having not just one, take note, not just one, but 3 keynote speakers. O, di ba? Bongga, no? For our international speakers, bongga. Bongga is what we say when we express our excitement over something amazing. So can you say that, Master? Bongga. Bongga. In English, it means amazing. Okay, so I hope you learned some Filipino words for you to converse with us during this student event. Just a while ago, Sir Romy told about magandang umaga. Magandang umaga in English means good morning. Okay, so magandang umaga is good morning. Maganda, that's beautiful. So when you see someone who's beautiful, you say maganda ka. Okay, so di ba, bongga. That's just a little piece of information from me, and I hope you appreciate it. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. Anyway, to introduce our first keynote speaker, may I now call on the very young and very energetic engineer Gerhard.
Thank you, Mayor. Now, this morning is really wonderful and amazing because our speaker belongs to one of the very finest from their chosen field of specialization. To start with, our keynote speaker, he was born on October 27, 1944 in Tapas, Capiz. He's the son of Estela Mijares and Colonel Eliseo Rio Sr., a Filipino soldier and an author. He completed his degree in Bachelor of Science in Electronics and Communications Engineering at the University of the East way back 1966. And his bachelor degree in Electrical Engineering, wow, double course, at the University of the Philippines in 1967. In 1969, he completed the company officer course at the Philippine Army School Center, and in 1970s to the 1980s, he completed various military courses in various schools and locations across the country. He was one of the top notcher, fourth place actually, in the Electronics and Communications Engineering Licensure exam conducted way back 1971. And then he completed Electronic Industry course at the Ateneo de Manila University way back in 1983. From September 1968 until his retirement from military service in October 2000, he then held various positions across AFP, the likes of Research and Development Center, Communications Company for Infantry Division in Mindanao. He's also an instructor at the Philippine Military Academy in Baguio City. He was assigned Assistant General Manager of Gasifier and Equipment Manufacturing Corporation, or GEMCOR. He's also head of the AFP Research and Development, Communication and Electronics R&D Group, a group commander of Military Intelligence Group 21, and Electronics Technical Intelligence Group of the Intelligence Service, Philippine Army. In 1992 to 1995, so the gentleman who is our keynote speaker represented the country in KL, Malaysia, as being part of the Philippine Embassy's Defense and Armed Forces Attaché. He then was designated Assistant Chief of Staff for Communication, Electronics, and Information System of the Philippine Army. He was then assigned as Commandant of the AFP Command and General Staff College, and was then promoted Brigadier General and appointed as Chief of the Armed Forces of the Philippines Communication, Electronics and Information System Service. He was also designated Deputy Chief of Staff for Communication, Electronics and Information System, Armed Forces of the Philippines, J11. He's also, take note of this one, he's also former Commissioner of the National Telecommunication Commission. One of his first official acts as NTC Commissioner was to extend the provisional authority of Globe and Smart and other entities from 1 to 2 years. He was then appointed as Undersecretary for Special Concern of the DICT and was in charge in the formulation of policies, planning, and programming of cybersecurity, emergency communications, and the implementation of strategic programs and projects and regional operation. On October 10, 2017, he was then appointed as officer in charge of the department and was then elevated as the acting secretary of the Department of Information and Communication Technologies. Now, without much ado, let's all welcome our keynote speaker, no other than Honorable Secretary Eliseo Mijares Rio Jr.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the honor. Thank you for that quite lengthy introduction. My keynote speech should be about 100 times longer. But I'm going to follow the example of our beloved President, Romy, to make it shorter, to give the other keynote speakers more chance to deliver their messages.
Wala siyang ano,
My first
for that
grade
entertainment ngayon.
IECEP Foundation cake person, Dr. Lucella Arson Reyes. Of course, IECEP President, IECEP Foundation President, Engineer Romy Architect. We have Undersecretary Maria Cabral of the Department of Public Works and Highways. Then, I greet the IECEP President, Engineer Ariel Padilla, and all former presidents of IECEP present. We have, of course, the Honorable Aurora Rubio. Yes. Rodrigo Carandan, Luis Gina, of course, Arson Reyes, and Ornan Vicente. And we have Honorable Terry Orbe, representing the PRC. May I greet the Building Industry Consultancy Services International Group. Yes, we have Ms. Lenore Schaffman, Director of Smart Buildings, and TIA, Telecommunication Industry Association, Mr. Todd Taylor, President-elect of Dixie, and Mr. Paul Wittrow, Vice President, Global Development. And of course, our sponsors, Reality Smart, or Dixie, and all electronics engineers now present. Good morning. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Okay. I think it was our MC said, our MC Maynard said, there is wisdom when you become old. I think I am the oldest person in this room. He mentioned my birthday, October 27, 1944. He mentioned that I took up my first board examination. In fact, it was the first board examination on ECE given in the history of our country, and that was in 1971. Who among you were born 1971 here? Okay, when we took that board examination, the questions were on pentodes, riots. Who of you know what a pentode is? Okay, so we still, those who do not know, Google it. Huh? We were already starting with transistors. Huh? So more or less you see that I have the experience longer than anybody in the room on our industry. Okay, and fortunately, I was appointed Undersecretary way back 2016 by the President, Undersecretary for Special Concern. My title was quite respectable, Undersecretary, but when I go home, my title becomes shorter. Under the lang. And now I became acting secretary, and at home I'm going over acting secretary. And now, as you all know, I'll be going back to my undersecretary position. A new secretary will be soon taking over in the person of Senator Grego Nasan. At home, I'll be called under Yes. But what is the roadmap of our industry? Being the longest one who is in the industry, I have more or less experience, from the time when we have the XY switches, rotary telephones, the party lines. Who remembers party lines? Party line, makibaba muna ako. It was actually sometime during the administration of President Fidel Ramos, where our industry was liberalized. Before that, we have a monopoly, PLDT, which just offer landline services. When our industry was liberalized, there were more than a dozen small players that were created, that began to operate. And two of these are Smart and Globe. They began as small telcos. And of course, we began into mobile services. First, we had the amps, and of course, went to GSM. And the GSM brought us SMS, texting. We became the texting capital of the world in the turn of the century, in fact. 2000, we were texting more SMS messages than the whole of the United States. 5 times the United States and 10 times the whole of Europe. In fact, we were texting around 1.4 billion SMS a day. And at that time, if you remember, one text message cost 1 peso. It used to be free, but when Globe and Smart found out they can make money of it, they charge 1 peso per text messages. Who of you remember counting the number of text messages a day that you send? No? You send 20, that's already 20 pesos. I remember my children then, I give them 50 pesos per day allowance for their school. They come back 40 pesos as we spend on SMS. Now, I was the NTC commissioner that brought in a third mobile operator, digital. No? And at that time, Globe and Smart were objecting to it. They said that the market was not enough for 3, but I brought in digital. And I suggested to digital for you to be able to compete with the existing giants there, Globe and Smart. You offer unlimited services in your own network. So that started the unlimited services of telcos. Globe and Smart, of course, objected. Predatory. The type of pricing is predatory. But they said, how can a small company eat up two big giants by this unlimited? So it went on, and soon enough, even Globe and Smart started offering services. So ngayon, who now counts the number of SMS that they send? No more, no? Because of that type of competition, which benefited the consumer. But SMS are being the texting capital of the world has a downside. When Jack Ma was here about a few months ago, The first thing he did was to test our internet speed and our internet connection. What was his comment? And this was published nationwide. No good. Jack Ma rated our internet connectivity as no good. That is a reflection of my department, because it is my department that is supposed to take care of these services. But it is also a reflection of our profession. Who would you blame for slow internet speed? Doctors? Lawyers? You blame electronics and communication engineers. But so it's very important now that with what our president is doing, Romeo Gatep, is to put in the work of electronics and communication in the way we do things, especially our government. And one result of that, and this is our group effort, was the creation of the Department of Information and Telecommunication Technology, the ICT. We used to be part of the OTC, where Ami Rubio was also the honorable director there. No? But because of our effort, we were able to separate that. The ICT is just 2 years old, and therefore, when that came here, we have less than 2 years to really improve our industry now. To really come up with a roadmap on how we can improve our industry. And we were the first one in the region to go to mobile services. Ahead of Cambodia, Vietnam, even Thailand and Indonesia. How come now they are way ahead of us and we are somewhere in the bottom? Basically because of SMS. Why do we have only 16,000 cell sites compared to 70,000 of Vietnam? And we were ahead by about 10 years in rolling out our GSM network because of SMS. SMS is a very narrowband system. You don't need so much towers to really put in billions of SMS. Now, a tower will queue millions of SMS and send them out in less than a minute. Vietnam, they have now 70, because the services that their people wanted in their country was voice. And voice services, you cannot have 16,000 towers and get the service for a population of, let's say, more than 50 million people. Voice is real time. When you are connected to the network cannot put you out until one of you finishes or cuts off. Real time. We didn't feel this, no? When SMS was king. But when smartphone became popular, when content became more than voice and texting, content now is internet content. No? This broadband content needs more towers You cannot have, right now our population tower density is around 4,000 per tower. You cannot have fast internet with one tower giving services to 4,000 people. Why is our fixed broadband not going as fast as other countries? In Korea, 100% of homes, offices, restaurants, hotels are connected through fixed broadband. The Philippines is less than 14%. Basically, the dominant players are mobile services, and any fixed services would compete with their mobile. Why is PLDT the longest, telco in our country? Why were they not able to roll out so many landlines? Because they were bought by Smart. It was Smart that bought PLDT, not the other way around. So the mentality of our country is on wireless broadband. And the solution for this is to have a tech telco that will more concentrate on fixed broadband. And in fact, it is the only area where they can compete initially, because they do not anymore compete in the first stages of their operation with Global Smart. How do we solve the 16,000 towers, or less than 20,000 towers? Global Smart operated for more than 20 years, and that's the number of towers they have built. Essentially less than 600 towers a year. We need, just to compare with Vietnam, we need 50,000 towers more. And at the rate that Global Smart put up their towers, that would take us 50 years more, something like that. You will be as old as me 50 years from now. You will be standing here and saying, oh, I took my first board examination somewhere in 2000 millennials. But our tower, it took so many years for us to at least compare with Vietnam way back in 2018. We don't like that to happen. So we're creating now a common tower policy. In other words, all towers in this country are either owned by Globe or Smart, and a few by the government. And a common tower that will be just their business and is doing none in other countries. They just put up towers, lease it to Globe and Smart. If you only have two telcos, then in fact it says now we are the only country with just two dominant players. All the others have at least three. Two telcos will not really be an incentive for a common tower provider. They need at least three. A common tower provider will need about 1.4 telcos for it to become economically feasible. Right now, Global Smart do not go into common towers because they design their towers as cheap as they can In other words, it is just a guide-wide tower where it can contain less than equipment. No? And a few meters away, Smart will also build its own tower, and so on and so forth. But had they combined the tower and had a common tower providing CAPEX for it, then the expenditures will only be operational. And the CAPEX, a tower I think costs about 50 million pesos to build, but these guide towers will be about half of that. So a common tower will really solve our problem. In fact, we should have a common tower can build 1,000 towers a year, and if we have at least 3 or 4, then we can have 50,000 towers in 5 years' time. So that is our roadmap. We build, the government will build or will initiate the building of infrastructure that will be needed by the industry. And we will put in more competition to the industry as we have done before. One reason of the state of our industry right now is because the government has not put in enough incentive, unlike other countries. No? Vietnam, 50% of their congregation is supported or even subsidized by the government. So we're going to that. Except that now we will support common towers. We will not support towers made by Globe or Smart. We will support common towers by offering it government real estate, offering it right of way, offering it towers that government owns. And in cooperation with DPWH, we can put ducts on highways, on our national highways, where any telco would be able to put their own fiber optics. So we are going to that. And just to give you more or less a bird's eye view of what we are doing, there are 4 elements in the telecommunication industry. First, you must have an international gateway, or IECEP. All our cable landing stations are owned by Roadshow. Every time we go into the content of internet, we have to pass through them. For the first time, the government is building 2 cables landing stations. Well, that's not nobody's having us. I think for the first time we will have 2 cable landing stations owned by Globe and Smart, and it will be offered to all telcos, including Globe and Smart, of course. But the one who will benefit more is the telco, because Globe and Smart have already an excessive pack of cable landing stations. Then, the second parameter that we need is a fiber optic backbone. We have that already. The Transco electric grid network has a high-capacity fiber optic backbone that they just use now. For more than 10 years, they were using this high-capacity fiber optic just for their SCADA. When in fact, they could have offered it to the telco and make money out of that, and would reduce even our electric bills. Globe and Smart made their own backbone. They didn't even share. That's why our services are quite expensive. Had Globe and Smart only shared a common backbone, that would reduce so much. Even the signaling cable, Globe and Smart separately made their own. They could have shared also, making our telecommunication services very expensive. The government was able to come up with an agreement with Facebook where there are so many people from Los Angeles going to Hong Kong will be diversified to our what we call the Luzon bypass infrastructure. Why? Because there are about 20 submarine cable corners that passes through the Luzon Strait, the area between northern Luzon and Taiwan. And every year, that strait is visited by typhoons or earthquakes, and every year, part of those cable gets broken. In fact, this year, we I think experienced 2 major breakages, and that really slowed down the internet connectivity of our region. So they would want to bypass that, and they did that through passing to Luzon, central Luzon, which is more or less safe. And we will have this operational by third quarter of next year. And once that's operational, maybe more than half of those 20 will also pass through that. And for each passage, Facebook is giving us 2 terabits per second. That's about more than one half of what Globe has right now. 2 terabits at no cost. We did not spend anything for the submarine cable. We just spent for the terrestrial connectivity between Aurora and Puro Point. And for that, Facebook will give us the terabits. And what's the significance of that? We get the content from Los Angeles, we get the content from Hong Kong at the price of Los Angeles and Hong Kong. Globe was to make their own, Globe and Smart was to make their own submarine cable, and of course they have to get back their ROI, no? The bandwidth cost in, let's say, Hong Kong is about less than $1 per megabit per month. When it is this year, Globe and Smart will charge us about $5. But the one that we will get from Facebook, the price of Hong Kong, will be the landed cost in the Philippines. And that's not all. Because now, the backbone that we will use will be the transport. 6,200 kilometers, and that will be given for the use of the government free, because Transco is a government corporation. That means now that we can bring the cost of Hong Kong down to Mindanao. Globe and Smart, they build their own backbone, such that the cost of bandwidth in Mindanao is roughly $15 per megabit per month. 50 times than what we will get from Hong Kong. So with that, you can see already how we can bring down the cost of our bandwidth and increasing its speed. The one who will benefit, of course, will be the telco player, because this will become available to them. And of course, it is available to Globe and Smart, but Globe and Smart, unfortunately, have built up their infrastructure, and they are still paying for this infrastructure. So that takes care of 2. International gateway facilities, backbone. Then we have the middle mile. From the backbone, you must have spur links to get the signal from the backbone to point of presence. No? And we will have PACs in all provinces, municipalities. Who will now do the middle mile? This is where the tech debt will come in. Because the initial business will be fixed broadband. And from the PACs, we will have the last mile to the end users, to every barangays in our country. And who will make use of this now that we have a very fast and less costly internet connectivity down to the apps? Who can now make use of this? This will be the small players of telecom, cable TV operators, electric cooperatives, even homeowners can become ISPs. So you can see that in this roadmap, we are involving everybody, even the small players, to be benefited by our technology. And of course, a fifth element would be the satellite overlay. Those that cannot be reached by the terrestrial networks, of course, we will depend on satellite. So those five is more or less the roadmap that the IECEP. And we have a vision, 2020 we call it, that these five elements, more or less, will be people will be starting to feel from the year 2020 improvement in our telecommunication industry. And what does this roadmap need? It needs you people. It needs electronics engineers. So this is more or less the future for you. The third level alone, I think, will have to employ about 1,000 initially of our electronics engineers. So those who are jobless right now, you can approach the new telco, which is the IECEP consortium. Again, there are some stories, and actually we will have to thank Engineer Ami Rukur, of course. She really supported the crafting of the terms of reference. This is the first time we did it in the country, so open, so objective, because we know that in this country no one loses. You have a high item bidding, you will be surely brought to court, and worse, the court will give you temporary restraining order that will delay the implementation of the project. We designed the terms of reference that no court can give us a temporary restraining order. Basically, by having decisions made within a time of 3 days. No? So if you have any appeal, if you are a loser, for example, in the bidding, you have a 3-day appeal, then NTC has 3 days to work on your appeal. So that was followed. Not enough time for those users to go to court and come up with a temporary restraining order. So we are going ahead as fast as we can. In fact, the fastest high-item bidding that is going around. Price-wise, it will be around about 250 billion worth of project. Not government fund, but actually the commitment, financial commitment of the IECEP Corporation. And this is the first time that we require a new player to come up with time-bound commitments. For example, the Bandapon, they will cover 34% of the Philippines, 34% of the 42,000 barangays. The Form A was so designed that all you have to do is Well, we have an Excel spreadsheet, 42,000 barangays listed in that spreadsheet. We just put down or mark in the first year how many barangays are we going to have give service. So 34%. And this is what they committed. On the third year, they will cover 70% of the country. Globe and Smart took 20 years to cover 70% of our country. And that is their coverage up to now. On their fifth year, they will cover 84% of the country. In other words, they will be going now to the underserved and unserved areas, but Globe and Smart are not there anymore. So these are promises, yes, but we require them to come up with performance bond. And I would say, okay, promise us, give us your highest committed level of service because they will earn points there, but put your money where your mouth is. Put up a performance bond. The higher your performance bond, the more points also you will earn. And the performance band that we started in case, for example, the first year they say 27 megabits, we measure only 20, they will have to surrender 27 billion in terms of performance band. First time we did it. We did not do this with Smart, we did not do this with Globe. Globe and Smart never came up with performance band. The third layer, we force it. And these are ideas we got from ITU, thanks to Engineer Amelie. I think Amelie deserves our applause. And this has caught the attention of the ITU even. They see that this may be a good way of awarding the frequencies for a new telco in developing countries like us. And in fact, it even creates in our government, maybe this is the way to have our bidding. As you can see, as we expected, we are broad. There are so many complaints coming from the losers. Those who participated, stakeholders at the consumer group, even though it's smart, participated in a number of public discussions, they got only 2 complaints, and these are the 2 losers. But they were not able to stop the procedure by means of a temporary stay order. And I assure you, they can bring us to court, but they will be just wasting their time and money. Because we will just say, Your Honor, we just followed the terms of reference, the provisions of terms of reference, where this complainant were members or part in crafting that. So we just followed what the stakeholders put in 10 months of work. And there is no word, no comma, no period that abstains from when it was approved by all stakeholders, in fact. And these are the same documents that will be brought to court. And they cannot point out really where there were changes that made them lose or that because of those changes they were disqualified. They are very confident. So that is the roadmap. For the first time, I think the government is giving me jobs. Since I first started my professional engineering, yeah, and even mother, that means wrap up. When I started my profession, there was no job available to the number of electronic engineering being graduated by our schools. Now we are creating new jobs, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence. The BPO is now being threatened by artificial intelligence. No? Our BPO services is mostly voice. And this is the one that robotics can easily change. No? In other words, you now cannot distinguish anymore if you're talking to a human being or to a robot. So we are working to that. No? We are going to use artificial intelligence to fight artificial intelligence in our BPO industry. BPO is now very close. Number two, but very close in overtaking the OFW remittances as the biggest dollar earner of our country. It is now the second. It has overtaken India. But now it is being threatened because of artificial intelligence. So we must have more higher level of services in BPOs. We are having our schools give subjects or even degrees that are future-proof. If, for example, this is one of the fastest, our profession is one of the fastest, the development of technology in our profession is so fast. As I've said, I started with vacuum tubes. Now, if I do not keep myself abreast, just for even 2 years, 3 years, I will be out of touch with our. So that is something that I can give you. Please keep yourself adapted to our very fast-changing technology. So with that, I still have to read my 3 pages, but following the sample of our president, I will give way. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Our the ICT Acting Secretary, Sir Eliseo Rio Jr. for your, of course, the lecture of history, and of course, for sharing with us your future plans for the betterment of telecommunications in our beloved country, Philippines. You really are a man of wisdom, sir. Now I remember I was riding a cab going to work, and then I heard your interview with the radio station, and you were able to answer fairly and justly and fairly the questions from the media, because they were blaming the current network providers with the off-grid areas that were not able to connect. But you were able to answer that, saying that it's high time for the government to invest into telecommunication facilities for us to be able to reach out to these off-grid areas for them to be connected also. So I said, this old man is really full of wisdom. Maybe the secret is in here. But I have more to share, but of course, I'm the MC here and not the keynote speaker, so let's move on with the program, okay? But of course, before that, we would like also to acknowledge the presence of the members of our Board of Electronics Engineering, the Chairman, Honorable Arlenar Italia, and of course, all of the members of our Board. Thank you so much, sirs, for coming and gracing this event. Okay. As we go on, may I now call again Engineer Gerhard Pan to introduce our second keynote speaker. Apologies. Before we introduce our second keynote speaker, we would like to call on Engineer Rosula Reyes, the Chairman of IECEP Foundation Incorporated, Engineer Romulo Arrebep, the President of IECEP Foundation Incorporated, and Engineer Anthony Madroño, Philippine Chair for BC Southeast Asia, to award the Plaque of Appreciation to our acting ICT Secretary, Sir Eliseo Rio Jr.
born on May 23, 1962 in Manila. She finished her primary and secondary education at the Holy Trinity Academy. And she also graduated at the University of the East with a degree in Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering way back 1984. She earned her degrees in Masters in Business Administration and Doctor of Philosophy in Business Management and Doctor in Public Administration from the Manuel L. Quezon University, respectively in 1993, 98, and 2001. She also gained her Master's in Economics from the Lyceum of the Philippines way back 2007 and her Master's degree in Strategic Business Economics at the University of Asia and the Pacific in 2015. Currently, she's the Undersecretary for Planning and Public-Private Partnership of the Department of Public Works and Highways, Philippines. She's in charge of overseeing the development of the strategic and priority plans and programs of DPWH, including the development and implementation of PPP projects. She is a career official in DPWH, having rose from the ranks of the organizational hierarchy. Prior to being appointed as Undersecretary, she was directly involved in implementation of major roads, bridges, and flood control projects co-funded by the Asian Development Bank, World Bank, and Japan International Cooperation Agency. As of PPP projects, the DPWH has already completed the Anghari SX link projects and the Southern Tagalog arterial road projects, while the ongoing projects are the Ninoy Aquino International Airport Expressway Project, Cavite Laguna Expressway Project, and the Tarlac Pangasinan La Union Expressway Project. In the bidding stage are the Laguna Lake Express Guide Project and the North Luzon Expressway, South Luzon Expressway Connector Road Project. Without much ado, she'll be discussing about Build program for nation building, no other than Honorable Undersecretary Maria Catalina E. Cabral, Civil Engineer.
Good morning to everyone. Now I know if my internet is low, the electronics engineer. Not the civil engineer. Anyway, magandang umaga po. Thank you. Thank you for the invitation to the Department of Public Works and Highways. So we can present to you the program that the Department of Public Works and Highways is implementing under President Rodrigo Duterte. To my co-officials in government, of course led by Secretary Rio, we have been working religiously with the IECEP, particularly on the usage of our national roads in laying down the pipes for the connectivity, not just the physical connectivity, but the digital connectivity of the country. Of course, I thank the President of the Electronics Engineers Foundation, Engineer Agatep, for inviting DPWH to this forum. And other guests and friends, especially from the academy, the civil society sectors, the local and international experts, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. I apologize because I was able to really join all the activities this morning because I'm also having another big forum on the other side. Fortunately, it's only a wall away from here. We are also gathering there to discuss activities between public and private partnership on disaster resiliency. And I'm sure it's important also to involve private sector organizations like the Electronic Engineers Organization, because there I'm representing not just DPWH, I'm also representing as the National President of the Philippine Institute of Civil Engineers. So all of us professionals should be able to work together with national government to make this country disaster resilient. So I'm sure the electronics these engineers have a big role to play in this goal of disaster resiliency program of the country. We are now on the third year of the Build program. It's been 3 years since the Philippine government embarked on the biggest, grandest infra journey by far never before seen in the history of the Philippines. And we in the Department of Public Works and Highways, we remain relentless in our pursuit to usher in and sustain the golden age of infrastructure. Since the Build program took off in 2016, you remember the first one of His Excellency, where he launched his administration with the golden age of infra. Your government, particularly Public Works and Highways, has never ceased to plan and deliver projects that will bring us close to our aspiration to deliver ang matatag, maginhawa, at manatag na buhay para sa lahat ng mga Pilipino. We also put importance on the need for better delivery of social infrastructure, especially in far-flung areas of the country. This, coupled with the issue on continuing deterioration of our infra and threat of massive damages because of climate change, we envision that a golden age of infrastructure where our facilities and services are safe, efficient, reliable, cost-effective, resilient, and sustainable. And its effect will be widely manifested through an efficient flow of people, goods, services, and information. Not just through increased mobility by people, but through seamless interconnection. So, ang dapat regula natin, hindi lang build. Dapat connect. Diba? We have to connect. Not just the physical infrastructure, but also the digital infrastructure. And to realize this vision, we are compelled to all step up our game. Not just the public sector, but also the private sector, so that we can support our growing economy. We in the government promises and is committed to accelerate our infra program to speed up the development over the medium and long term, especially as we want to stimulate the production and delivery of services and outputs, especially in various industries right now. Our infra spending is 42% higher compared to the same time last year. In 2017, government has allotted 5.4% of our gross domestic product for infrastructure development. And this is even more than twice, or 2.5% average over the past 6 administrations in the past 50 years. During this administration, the government plans to spend a staggering 8 trillion pesos in infrastructure projects. Kasama na dyan ang mga programa ng IECEP under the Build program. DPWH plans are aligned to the National Trust and anchored on the Philippine Development Plan. That is the Philippine Development Plan prepared by NEDA for 2017 to 2022. And this is anchored on the Ambition 2040 that our nation will be, and the Filipinos will be strongly rooted, comfortable, and have a secure life. Infrastructure plans are also included in roadmaps, master plans, that will ensure the resources of the government are properly utilized in a strategic, efficient, and convergent manner. That's why we're partnering with other agencies like the Department of Tourism, Transportation, Agriculture, the IECEP, Department of Trade and Industry, Department of National Defense, as well as BCDA, in planning a sustainable and urban and regional development, anchored on the National Transport Policy and the Philippine Transport System. And DPWH supports the Philippine Energy Plan for 2016 to 2030, highlighting the importance of sectoral energy roadmap. We recently signed a memorandum of agreement with the Department of Information and Communication Technology, and this involves the sharing of both departments' resources in order to lay out and co-deploy a fiber optic network aligned with and with using our national road network. As for DPWH, our plans and programs fall under 4 major categories. First, the traffic decongestion program. This is a long-held problem in the Philippines, the traffic gridlock, and the country has long been faced with the problem of traffic congestion, especially in urban areas. The program focuses on improving the Philippine National Road Network by building more bypasses, diversion roads, high-standard highways, and expressways. We also envision a more connected Philippines despite being an archipelago through our integrated and seamless transport system program that aims to provide linkages along the various islands of the country. We are going to build and construct long-span bridges. With this will boost regional competitiveness and benefit Filipinos, especially in far-flung areas. Apart from our national roads and bridges, we have flood control works, and Public Works is implementing programs in partnership with other government agencies. This is, next slide. This is through our Convergence and Rural Road Development Program, where we are upgrading the local access roads that will have significant impact on the country's tourism, agricultural, and industrial sectors. And lastly, next slide, given the country's vulnerability to geological hazard, we are constantly implementing and continuously executing various programs that will make our communities livable, sustainable, and resilient. Time and again, many areas of our country are submerged to flooding. As I said in the other forum, we're discussing disaster resilience because we're trying to come up with programs where private sector can participate in government's undertaking to solve 2 big problems: the disaster resiliency and traffic. And your Public Works and Highways, we are implementing other programs such as the pedestrian infrastructure, as well as the bicycle facilities in areas where we could still acquire the right-of-way. Determined to implement projects based on a holistic approach to address the flooding in the country, we are completing the preparation and updating of flood control master plans and feasibility studies in 18 major river basins in the country. We have already completed the Phase 3 of Pasig Marikina River Channel Improvement Project. We are also monitoring the implementation of the Flood Risk Management Project for Cagayan, Tagoloan, and Imus River in Cavite. Following Yolanda, back in 2015, the Leyte Tide Embankment Project was conceptualized, and we are now also implementing a big flood control project in Cagayan de Oro following Sendong. The Cavite Industrial Area Flood Management Project in Cavite could now push through, and we are now in pre-construction activity. We recognize that Cavite in the Calabar Zone is a very important area, especially for business and industries. On the other hand, going to Mindanao, we have the Rio Grande River in Mindanao and the Ambal-Simoy River, where we identified core areas to implement flood control projects for 2019. Our convergence with the Department of Trade and Industry will further bolster the country's booming industry. Under the roll-in or the roads leveraging linkages for industry and trade, we have identified local access roads leading to trade and industry, economic zones, manufacturing sites, where we will construct and build local access roads. As of 2018, Public Works have already allotted a total of 12 billion pesos for the construction and upgrading of about 438 kilometers of roads leading to industries and economic zones and other trade corridors. The Tourism Road Infrastructure Program, together with the Department of Tourism, has been aligned with the strategic direction of the National Tourism Development Plan of the DOT. And the aim of the program is to improve access and connectivity to tourism gateways, service centers, and tourism sites. We started back in 2015 and we are continuing this. We have allotted 65 billion pesos of the village budget to improve the access road leading to tourism destinations. The implementation of the master plan on highway network development remains to be one of our major priorities to alleviate the traffic congestion, not just in Luzon, but also in Visayas and Mindanao. We are expanding our highways and expressways to give way to regional competitiveness. And one of our strategies to prevent people from flocking to Metro Manila, especially urban areas, is to provide job opportunities areas outside Metro Manila. The Philippine government through Public Works will build around 1,045 kilometers of high-standard highway network from Luzon all the way to Visayas and Mindanao. Of course, I know everyone is looking forward to see the expansion of the existing 382 kilometers of expressway in Luzon. We're going to increase this up to 2022 from 382 kilometers to 1,267 kilometers under our flagship project and under our Zone Spine Expressway Network. This is tagged as the biggest program of Public Works, where our aim, hold your breath, is to reduce travel time from Ilocos, San Juan, Ilocos, La Union, San Juan, and all the way to Ilocos, to Bicol, Camarines Sur, San Juan, Camarines Sur also, from your 19 to 20 hours to just about 8 to 9 hours once completed. Alamin nyo na kung saan dadaan, lagyan natin ng digital connectivity. Right. We have to make sure our program is converged. I'll probably tell you some of the projects and siguro you can ask me, Mom, how are we going to do that? Reduce travel time from Luzon to Bicol in just about 8 hours. Of course, many of them are already ongoing, some are finished. Let me mention to you some. For example, Tarlac-Pangasinan La Union Expressway is going to be finished by next year. The Skyway right now, if you're familiar with the ongoing Skyway project from connecting South Luzon Expressway to North Luzon Expressway, is ongoing and will also be finished in 2020. We're opening by December this year, a portion of the segment 10 of the North Luzon Expressway, South Luzon Expressway connector, a portion that will connect Valenzuela and Caloocan in just about 10 minutes. Cavitex is improving. We have started the Cavite-Laguna Expressway. We're extending the T-Plex all the way to San Juan, La Union, and probably extend again all the way to Ilocos. The STAR will be extended through the South Luzon Expressway Toll Road 4, and we are now doing the feasibility study of the Camarines Sur Expressway and Quezon Bicol Expressway, which once finished, we can identify financing and complete the Luzon Spine Expressway network from north to south with the Quezon Bicol Expressway. When we dream big. And again, this is not an undertaking exclusive for government, but we need private sector, especially professionals such as the electronics engineers, the mechanical, the civil engineers, the architects, so that we can deliver this very ambitious build program of government. Next slide. We are also working in Mindanao. Hindi naman po naiiwan ang size in Mindanao through our Davao High Standard Highway Network, where we are building a combination of expressway, a bypass road, and a coastal road with a total length of 86 kilometers. The bypass road will boast of the first longest tunnel in the country, a 2.2-kilometer tunnel using Japanese technology. So this is already ongoing. Through the assistance of our bilateral partners, we are building this tunnel, and of course, the operation and maintenance of this will be jointly undertaken by government as well as private sector. Next slide. Once we finish the Davao City bypass, travel time from via the Pan-Philippine Highway and diversion will only take you from the usual 1 hour and 44 minutes to just about half, or 45 minutes, saving at least half the travel time once we completed this project. The Davao City Coastal Road is an 18-kilometer road that will serve as an alternative route to the already congested Davao-Cotabato Road. So, plan our projects properly. We also have our Mindanao Road Development Network program, where we are going to build 2,615 kilometers of road total in the Zamboanga Peninsula, Northern Mindanao, Southern Mindanao, Central Mindanao, and the Caraga region, totaling with an estimated cost of around 126 billion pesos that will be undertaken over the next 2 to 3 years. Our road network development projects in conflict-affected areas in Mindanao remains to be a priority of DPWH. And therefore, we are working together with local government in the autonomous region for Muslim Mindanao to identify critical road network that we will improve and develop under our partnership program, Road Network Development Project. We also are going to build long bridges, long and short span bridges, using state-of-the-art technology by keeping abreast with technological innovation. 12 new bridges. In addition to the existing 26 bridges crossing Pasig River, Marikina River, and Grand Floodway are on the pipeline of DPWH. This is under our Metro Manila Logistics Improvement Projects. 2 of these are already ongoing, and they have groundbroken, and this is through the grant financing from China government. This is the Binondo Intramuros Bridge, where it will connect Intramuros on the other side, Solana Street, and Binondo on the San Fernando Street with a viaduct over Estero with Binondo. The Estrella Pantaleon Bridge will connect Estrella Street at Makati City and Barangka Drive in Mandaluyong. This has a total length of 500 meters. Forgive government, bear with us, because we need to do this. Well, at least there will be some disruption or congestion during construction. We need to build more bridges, especially in Metro Manila. Because as I mentioned, we have to be not just prepared in terms of addressing traffic, but also preparing for the big one. And you know what the big one is, and that is the possibility of a 7.2 magnitude earthquake happening in Metro Manila anytime soon, hopefully not during my speech. Yes, but we need to make sure all the bridges are retrofitted, repaired, especially in Metro Manila. And we are also building other bridges that will connect the archipelago. I mentioned earlier, under our Mega Bridge program, we're going to build short and long span bridges that will link major islands of the country to eventually connect Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Let me cite to you some of the bridge under this program. We have the Bataan-Cavite Bridge, then latest Surigao, Bohol Leyte, Davao Samal, Panay Guimaras Negros, Cebu Bohol. We're building 2 bridges bridges in Mandaue, Fort Mactan Bridge, and then the Palm Bay Bridge in Mindanao, which has been actually inaugurated yesterday by no less than the President himself, together with Secretary Mark Villar, for the construction of Palm Bay Bridge, one of the across a very deep body of water. So you can see that under our program, we envision the Philippines to be well connected, more connected. And we're going to allot around 1.6 trillion pesos to build and connect the country. The detailed, we have not forgotten other areas. For example, that's the Palm Bay Bridge. This is the concept design for the Palm Bay Bridge. This is going to be done with assistance from Korean government. Next slide. And we have built many bridges. We are doing the study for the Cavite, Bataan bridges, the Negros Cebu Bridge, the Luzon Samar Bridge, Cebu Bohol Bridge, Bohol Leyte, Davao Samal, and these are going to be finished by next year, the feasibility study, so that we can start constructing this in either likely part of 2019 or early part of 2020. Your Public Works and Highways has delivered a compelling number of accomplishments. Next slide. We, in the first 2 years of the Build program of President Duterte, we widened 511 bridges with a total length of 24,000 linear meters. We replaced 204 existing bridges. We built 120 bridges, combining a total length of 6.2 kilometers. Rehabilitated and strengthened 1,581 bridges with a combined length of 69,452 linear meters. We have also widened 1,896 kilometers of road, built 328 kilometers of bypasses and diversion roads, connected 393 kilometers of missing gaps between national roads and local roads, improved and upgraded local access roads around 1,312 kilometers, leading to airports, seaports, rural ports, industries and trade hubs, and declared tourism destinations. But we are not yet halfway down. These figures may be compelling, but this is still not finished. In fact, we have just started. And if you ask me, is it possible to achieve and deliver the much needed infrastructure by 2022? Yes, the golden age of infrastructure has arrived. And there may be obstacles. There are a lot of obstacles along the way. Right-of-way, absorptive capacity, lack of professional skills, availability of skilled workers, construction materials and everything. There are going to be obstacles. But our leaders are decisive. We have the leaders. We have the budget. We have the master plan and blueprint. Now more than ever, we in government should partner closely with the private sector and the professional to partner in delivering this most ambitious infrastructure program. As mentioned by Secretary Rio, it's not for government to do this alone. And your theme for today, building a connected Philippines towards digital transformation, we need you engineers, all engineers, so that we can combine our efforts. And again, through digital technology, through innovation, through expertise, not just of local and foreign, we can combine our expertise to deliver a better, more efficiently sustainable, and continuing program, not just by the electronic engineers, by all of us, so that we can be up at par with our neighbors, not just our ASEAN neighbors, but in Asia. And we thank everyone's participation. I in the government call out on private sector. Help us deliver. Give us your expertise. Please, don't go abroad. We need you here. At the end of the day, the pain may be be not as high as what you will get an offer from abroad, because I will be surprised if an electronics engineer is jobless. I will not agree. But that said, if you're ever offered abroad, even if the pay is huge compared to us in the Philippines, please reconsider. We need you. And I'm sure, given the choice of being with your family and having a job here, I'm sure that most of you will choose to stay and help govern and deliver. Someday, 2022, we hope we can see each other again and brag that the Philippines is now on top of its game in infrastructure. Maraming salamat po. And again, thank you, electronic engineers. I'm sure we have a lot of things to do. Stay in the country. Maraming salamat.
And thank you so much, Ma'am Catalina Cabral. We are very much overwhelmed sa dami po ng projects. And we are with you, ma'am, and we are praying with you for the success of these projects that you are going to build for the Philippines. Of course, just to add, when you dream big, says Ma'am Catalina Cabral. Just to add, a dream you dream alone is only a fantasy, but a dream we dream together becomes a reality. So together, let's bridge the digital divide pagkat tayo ang daan tungo sa mas magandang Pilipinas. Okay, and remember, don't go abroad, okay? Let's build, and connect for a more wonderful Philippines, okay? So let's award the, ayun na-award na pala, nung dami ko sinasabi dito, sorry po. Okay, thank you so much again, ma'am. That's a very wonderful presentation. Okay, and to introduce our final keynote speaker, may I call on Engineer Aurora or Alcer Rubio, PECE SCN Engineer, Telecommunication Consultant, and former Senior Advisor and Head of UNITU Area Office for Southeast Asia. She will also be our moderator for this session, because after this session, after the presentation of our keynote speaker, there will be a 10-minute question and answer portion. Okay, so you are encouraged to ask questions for our very willing and very able speaker.
Thank you very much, Mayor, for that introduction. Our next speaker has international expertise as an attorney, market strategist, entrepreneur, innovator, blogger, speaker, and moderator. Currently, she's working with communications and connectivity members of TIA, as well as real estate and building systems companies and municipal leaders developing the Smart Buildings program. She began her career as a lawyer in Paris, France, at the firm Gilles Laurent Noël and the bank Société Générale. Limor brings a particular understanding of developing immersive and interactive environments, having worked in the theme, art, and video game industries before founding Keystone Tech Group, her market strategy and business development consultancy. Limor recently received her Juris Doctorate from Boston University School of Law, Bachelor of Arts from the University of Pennsylvania, an executive business degree from UCLA's Anderson School of Management. She is a non-practicing member of the California, Massachusetts, and New York state bars. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our next speaker, Ms. Limor Schaffman.
Rice and acting undersecretary. Thank you so much for the vision being shared. Personally, I'm excited. How many of you are excited by what you heard this morning so far? Right on. 2 hands. I see 2 hands. This is great. Because what they're talking about is a phenomenal future. And what we're going to be talking about is how the built environment, buildings, and actually if I could ask for the volume to turn down a little bit, and have a little bit less feedback. The built environment has a role to play, and we're going to be talking about that. So let's take a start. Why do we care about this smart environment that we're talking about? We care about it because of data. Ultimately, data is a key thing that we're going to be enabling, right? Because through the use of data, the capture of data, and the active participation of data in our worlds, we're going to be able to make sure that we have that safe, secure, sustainable, resilient future that we all want to live in. That happy environment, that productive workplace, that entertainment that we want to get access to. It's all about data. That's how we get the efficiencies. Volume down. I'm sorry, the volume down is a little bit. I don't understand. Are you trying to down? Just down? Thank you. I apologize everyone, just making some adjustments here. Okay. While they're adjusting, let's take a look at this. Hold on, I'm trying to go backwards. We don't want to talk about that yet. Okay. So let's always talk about data and why do we need the infrastructure that we need today. This is just some of the fun facts in terms of Netflix and Twitch, which is a video game, and esports, and things that are happening, right? We know about this stuff. But what do we really care about? This is the bottom line. This year, we're using about 13 gigabytes of data per SIM. Now, by 2025, it's going to be 98 gigabytes per SIM. And just imagine the proliferation of SIMs it's going to be by that year, right? It's going to be phenomenal. So right there, we have massive demands on our infrastructure. I can tell you now, not only here in Manila, but around the world, we're just not ready. So what is happening? What we're going to be talking about is how smart cities and smart buildings have parallels, how they interrelate, because ultimately, the built environment is where we live. And in order to exceed and to achieve the kind of connectivity that you heard about this morning, we're going to need urban densification. We're going to need a proliferation not only of macro cells, but of small cells, fiber, edge data centers, different kinds of millimeter wave, massive MIMO, et cetera, et cetera. The next generation of telecom infrastructure, 5G, is a hybrid of technologies. So you all here that are out in this environment, I want you to take home the fact you were hearing about the skills that you need to develop, the opportunity that you have. I'm going to challenge you even further. It's not just about electrical or mechanical engineering. It's not just about communications engineering. It's ICT, it's information engineering too. And the professionals of tomorrow, as you're going to hear, as I say this again and again in this presentation, need to understand the I as well as the C as well as the T. And anybody, I see nodding heads there, which is great, and anybody who is able to have all of those skills combined, that is the sweet spot. That is the professional that we want to have in the marketplace tomorrow. Because that is where we're headed, as you're going to see. So, what has been happening around the world with regard to smart communities? What's been happening quite often is that, one of the reasons that when things have not taken place, okay, I can see that I have to stay right here. You can see right here. All right. So, what we see is that most often with smart cities, we're dealing with different kinds of issues, and as a result, we've got these one-off projects. We have these one-off, let's take a look at what we can do. So let's figure out how to handle the sewage, or how to handle some electronic capturing of garbage, or some transportation, or changing the LED lights, and that's phenomenal. That's a great way to start. But that is not a strategy. One of the things that I find exciting about what I heard here today is that the country has a strategy that it wants to use to go forward in terms of building this future. Smart communities need that. You need an overall strategy, and then you can start getting to specifics. The reason I'm showcasing these cities here is because they have global strategies. I invite you to take a look at what they're doing, because they are doing a top-level view of what they want to create with regard to a smart city. And again, cities and buildings are absolutely a required composite of the 5G networks of tomorrow. We need smart environments. We're talking about the smart environment. This is what's going to really enable infrastructure to take place. And I'll say also that that built environment is in fact an infrastructure that is going to enable the kind of communications that will happen. And so these are all symbiotic, they're all connected together, and that's why they're so important. So I invite you to take a look at these cities because they have overarching goals, and then they're doing phase by phase, step by step, figuring out what they're going to do, what to build there, or get there. Here's some other things that we see parallels between buildings and communities. And these parallels are important because we can recognize them, we can fix them, and we can move through and create the environment that we want. So what are some of the things that we see in the smart community? One, because usually it's an elected environment in most cities, not all as we know, but in most cities it's an elected environment. And please continue to turn down the volume just a little bit. I'm going to save myself, but if you mind lowering the volume, that would be really helpful. So what we find is that they have really tight budgets, right? And also that they're elected every 2 years, every 3 years, so there's really quick ROI that needs to happen. That makes constraints really happen. It makes for a little bit of, not the strategic thinking, but a little more short-term thinking. Not only that, as we just saw what was happening earlier with Smart Global, is that we often have silos in our governmental departments, and sometimes they even have individual networks, but they don't want to share those networks. They sort of cover them, right? Like this. And so what we need to do is break down those silos. That's absolutely key. Now, what's happening in buildings? Well, lo and behold. No, another thing that's really important that happens in cities is that IT and OT, they don't talk to each other. Information technology, operations technology, they don't talk to each other, they don't speak the same language, they're in different worlds, and they don't like each other necessarily. Again, that person that can bridge all the world, that can speak all the languages, that knows what they're talking about in all those areas, that is a sweet spot, that's a powerful place to be. So what's happening in the building microcosm? Exactly the same stuff. So real estate developers want a fast, clear ROI. We have the same issues in terms of where they're going to make their investments. We have the same issues in terms of IT and OT. So the question is, how can the building be a microcosm for smart cities? We believe at TIA that it is, and the way that we solve the issues in a building, then we can extend that knowledge of those best practices to a broader environment. Now, let's do again why we care specifically about smart buildings. Lo and behold, it's about data again. Because once you have data, you can make the building more efficient. You can make it more personalized to the individual experience. You can do a whole host of things that really makes it very powerful. But not only that, let's look at the data that's going to be used in the building. Because we want the built environment is where we live, work, and play. So we need to make sure that that environment is ready for us to be there to make use of and be able to serve us the way we want it to be served. So let's just take a look at these stats and just imagine. We have, global mobile participation, 4 billion people, unique users worldwide. This is from CTIA stats. Now, 82% of internet traffic will be IP video by 2021. This is just video, okay, keep that in mind. 75% of worldwide video traffic is over mobile, and 80% of mobile usage is in a building. So just do that step by step down. You can see the amount of impact of what we are going to need in order to manage that amount of video alone in a building. Do we have this capacity today? I tell you no. I don't care where you are. Very few places around the United States or around the world have this. There are some smart buildings around the world, smart cities around the world that are standing there and they're offering this kind of thing, but most of us are not. Certainly in the United States, I know we're not. So, and then again, this is just video. How about autonomous vehicles? How about drones? How about VR? How about augmented reality? How about remote surgery? How about the usual living that we're going to be doing, that connected living experience that we're all experiencing? Second, the built environment is not making this. Here's another aspect that you were just talking about, that Undersecretary was just talking about, really, really important. 70% of the world's population is going to live in an urban core. This is according to the United Nations by 2050. But what's also happening is we have significant climate change. You live here, we're living in the United States. So as a result, it's already been estimated that we're going to have millions of people, just in the United States, shifting from one place to another. And it's not going to just be from the shores into the inner core, but also going from our inner core out to other locations because of the massive fires that are expected to be happening. So by 2100, we have a massive population migration, plus urbanization, et cetera, our landscapes are going to be changing. And not only that, with the advent of the digital economy, we are in fact going to be changing the design of our urban landscape on top of that. So if you think about all those things, I mean, just pause for a minute. You're just going to reflect on the amount of impact of what we have to do in the next 20 to 30 years to meet these demands. We need to start today. We need all of each day. So I hope that you're ready to step in here and lead in there to join this world and continue to be part of it because it's going to rely on you, right? You're building it, which is really exciting, really challenging, but I think that there are ways for us to do this together. So what do we mean by smart building, also as a microcosm of smart cities? Continue that metaphor. I want to talk about the individualization. First, let's talk about this building. Imagine if this was the quintessential smart building, what would you say it would have to have? First, it has to have thousands upon thousands of sensors, right, all kinds, because it is a data capture machine. Why? Because you are going to anticipate that it has highly integrated communications networks within it, right? And it has highly integrated building management systems, automation systems, IoT applications. All of these things are going to feed one another because you want to create that individualized experience. So imagine that person holding the tablet is the real estate property owner that has a portfolio of properties. What would that person want to see? Now imagine if that person was someone who has an office building in that building. What would that person want to see? Let's say you're a visitor. They need to know where to go for their conference, for their meeting. What would that person want to see? What if you're delivering something? They're delivering flowers to an office. What would that person need to see? In other words, the building needs to serve the individual at the point of time that that individual is showing up in the building and the data needs to flow to them like that. That's the vision. So we can figure out how to create that integrated, seamless experience, just like what was being spoken of this undersecretary from a national perspective, or just talking from a building perspective. If we can figure out how to do that, let me tell you, it's already not using it all. Then you can take those learnings, those best practices, etc., and you can bring them to the broader environment of the community, of the campus, of the city, ultimately. So in order to do that, TIA is being involved in a number of different things, but I want to excite you a little bit more by some buildings. This one I'm highlighting here because it has a very individualized experience. Basically, it has 28,000 sensors. Don't worry, I don't expect you to read this. You'll have access to these slides. It has 28,000 sensors. What are they doing? The moment you're driving up or you're walking up to the building, it recognizes you. Because of your hot desking hotel, meaning they offer you new specific office space just for you every day. You don't have your own office. It's going to tell you where to go. The moment you get there, it's adjusting your lighting, your air, your temperature, just specifically for you. It's a very individualized experience. Now imagine what is necessary for building capabilities and functionality in order to enable that. That's high OT, IT integration, and also the communications, of course. Let's talk about another one. Unisphere, just opened a month ago in Silver Spring, Maryland. Not too far away from where I live. All what you see over there on the sides, all this right there, this is all solar panels. It's a net zero building. They don't do net zero. Now why am I highlighting this? Not because it's an individualized experience, because their primary focus was a net zero. This is what you see right here is this is a sundial that shows when they're taking in energy from the grid or giving back energy to the grid. They use some very ancient as well as modern technologies in order to get to this. The building literally opens, it literally breathes. That's what the building does. It's really amazing. But what is key, and these are wells that are about 500 feet into the ground, what is key about this building is its integration. This is quintessentially, again, an example of IT and OT coming together and being able to build this. And what they've done is, what they needed to do is right from day one, and I say that this is true also for our cities and our overall global fun to put together the IT, the OT, the security, the construction, the designers, the architects, the engineers, because only with that integration of all these people and all the stakeholders and all the systems, and also prototyping what we want to build in advance, only then can we achieve the kinds of visions that we have and the kind of environment we have and create these kind of amazing smart environments that are beginning to exist today, but only by working all together, all these different stakeholders. Absolutely key. I don't care if it's at a building level, a city level, or a nation level. And this is the data. This is what we were seeing here. That was the data that they're capturing off of one building. Imagine if you had that view for an entire municipality. Imagine if you had it for a nation. What kind of capabilities are you able to have from an efficiency and operations perspective, a resiliency perspective, the opportunity to achieve new business models, to see where revenue can come from, new places? Amazing. So now, let's just choose one statistic, just to increasingly say why this is so important. The Edge, that building in Amsterdam, the first one I discussed, it saves 70% of energy compared to any other building. 70%, that's one building. Now we'll just explode that out to an entire municipality. I don't even understand why we're still here talking about it, right? We should all be out there doing it. So what we're trying to do is, we're trying to remember those first numbers that we're comparing the smart community and the smart building. It was all about expense, right? It was all about ROI and expense. But what we're trying to do is trying to move it from the expense up to the experience. We're decommoditizing space, meaning we're giving space meaning and having it value in its own right in a whole other way. And we're moving it up to the experience. That's really what we're talking about. Now, why is TIA here? Besides having the privilege of being invited to be here, we also have a program in Smart Buildings. Let me talk to you a little bit about TIA so you understand why we're doing this and where it's coming from. So first, what we do is we are a standards development organization. We have about over 3,000 standards. So I'm trying to get it right side. There we go. All right. We have over 400 members, 3,000 plus standards, and we are also a policy house. We're in fact on the Hill, in front of the FCC, and also in front of the White House, trying to get them to move along different things, i.e. like around small cell deployments, which is one of the acting undersecretary was talking about as well. So you see here we have a lot of standards. And there are a lot of build standards. So the standards are on data centers and edge and cabling. Those are our standards. Standards are on towers and macro towers construction. Our towers. TRA, public safety out there. I had the privilege of being photographed with a gentleman who were the first responders out there. The radio systems are our standards. So we have a lot of standards around the built environment, but that's not enough. Let's take a look at the trends. We're talking about 5G. How many of you are aware of 5G and know what that is? All right. I see only a few hands. I will tell you right now, get educated about 5G. It's happening. It's starting to deploy around different nations around the world. This is the next generation communications infrastructure. If you want to be in the space, you must understand very clearly what it is and what it's not. And again, that complexity of what it's going to be, because that's where you're going to come in. You're going to be solving for that complexity and making sure that it can operate seamlessly. Then we have IoT. I'm sure you're all familiar with IoT, Internet of Things. How many of you are familiar with that phrase? Okay, great. I'm seeing more hands. So that's referring to a double hit. So that's referring to the connectivity of everything, right? Everything is going to be speaking to everything else. That's why data is so important. In that case, we're building the pipelines that enable the data to then put in applications that allows the connected experiences that we want. That's the generation of how we're doing. So what we're doing at TIA is we're focusing on creating that infrastructure. And we have a number of programs that are involved with that. I want to talk about something else because I think this is important. The virtualization of the network. How many of you are familiar with the virtualization of the network? Does that mean anything to you? Okay, so just so you understand, that is the software. The network is being turned into software. It's not just about hardware anymore, which is why the ICT, the I of ICT is so important. Again, I invite you to take a look at what's going on. This isn't just a trend. This isn't just a thing. It's existing. It's happening. It's important for you to understand because it all combines together in the future of that infrastructure network. And so as a result, TIA, together with its members, because we are a volunteer, we are a member-based trade association that develops these standards and these practices and the best practices and the frameworks of reference architecture, et cetera, et cetera. We decided to focus on 4 programs: smart buildings, edge data centers, et cetera. I'll go into them very quickly. I'll talk about smart buildings a little bit faster or in depth, but I think this is important, so I'm going to just take a moment. So edge data centers. As you may be aware, with regard to IoT, and because of the kind of compute power that's going to be necessary to power a lot of autonomous vehicles, to power the delivery of Netflix, et cetera, the compute is going to be edge. So, in order to create environments in which powerful compute can be the edge, not just in sensors that can really be robust, there's a thing called edge data centers. These are actual products in the marketplace today. What TIA is doing is it's extending its standard into the edge data center space. This is another aspect that you're going to want to pay attention to, because as you can see, these data centers are behind restaurants, they're going to be in buildings, and they have particular requirements, and that's one of the things we're working on. So this is another trend you're going to want to know about. Another is that the central office is now not only this switching things, but fundamentally a data center. We're working on reference architecture around that, and so that's another aspect of trend that's been happening that we're working on. Network evolution, let's talk about something very specific about it. Because of what can happen now, what is so great about software? What is so great when something becomes software? It becomes malleable, right? It's code, so you can do anything with it. It's really interesting and flexible. So as a result, if our networks are becoming more software provided, then we are able to, in fact, create specific applications that are specific networks that are designed for a particular IoT application. So, for example, if you're going to have a hospital delivering remote surgeries, you're going to be able to create a network specifically to deliver the capabilities for that. So when we're looking at TIA, is what are the KPIs? What are the things that we need to measure in order to make sure that the network is going to deliver? So fundamentally, we're talking about a complex network that's going to have to come together in order to deliver the future we expect. Now, why are we doing this here at TIA? One, we're redefining what smart buildings is, because it used to be the smart buildings was all about the HVAC system, right? The HVAC turns on, turns off. Okay, great, I've got an intelligent building. We're like, no. That's just me. We're talking about an IoT-ready building that is robust, just like that image that we saw earlier before. And so, because we wanted to get to the level that we can have an individualized experience if we want it. So what we've done is we've called out here the smart building system asset. What we mean by that is here we've called out all the communications systems that render this is more like US6. But I think it's a good example for you. And not only does the building have things that are happening on the side and inside, but also it's connecting in a number of ways to the municipality and the environment, which stands as well. We've discovered that we've aggregated the knowledge that there are at least 26 different communications systems that can go in buildings. That's how complex this is. So again, if we can figure out the complexity within a building, we can start taking that knowledge outside. We've also developed this smart buildings integrated APIs. What do we mean by that? What is the message around this? You will see here in this block on the base of the foundation that telecom and power is absolutely foundational to a smart building. You cannot have anything without that. The reason we're saying this is because it's one of the things, telecom is one of the things that is value engineered out of the building almost immediately. So you have that, and you have on top of that the data, the information management, the capture of the data, the management of the data, the use of the data. Then you have interoperable building management systems, not just a building management system. Everyone has a building management system. We need them to be interoperable. There's a lot of pain around doing this right now. Again, that's why we need this IT communication. Then you put in machine learning, artificial intelligence. That's when you start getting the automation. Then you start having the value. That's when you're able to start buying the building as a service. You take this model and you put it in the municipality. It's a municipality as a service. And all of a sudden you have different business models. Different capabilities of the building or this municipality can offer to its citizens, to its tenants, to its visitors, etc., etc. So this is the smart buildings because we're building a marketplace. Because we know and have seen that there's a difference in terms of the lexicon that is being used out there. So we're literally creating a glossary. And we're also developing where necessary standards and we're supporting the ecosystem as a whole. But what we're also doing is we're developing a level assessment. So we're developing a way to benchmark smart buildings. We've identified at the moment 10 characteristics. This is very much still under development, so you're seeing something behind the curtain a little bit. And this is going to continue to evolve. We're hoping to launch this, let's say, second quarter next year. This is going to be a benchmarking tool, by which we'll be certifying buildings and certifying people who will be smart building experts. We're doing all different kinds of building types, and as you see, we have a very broad ecosystem that we're reaching out to, and these are the members of our organization and members of our program. This is a volunteer-based program. We're very pleased to be leading it, and we're very excited to see it. So, with that, I will conclude, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kumar, for a very beautiful and wonderful presentation. It was very interesting. I wish we had more time. So anyway, we will allow 1 to 2 questions that we would like to ask Kumar.
Are there any questions?
Any questions? Please introduce yourself before
Good morning, everyone. I'm Tony from IECEP. My question is, you presented a lot of technical or standards coming from TIA, but my question would be, is there already a process of developing standard that would lead towards a definitive statement on and say regulation or standards that leads to the development of smart cities and smart buildings coming from the IEA?
So at the moment we're focusing very much on the assessment. In terms of smart buildings, there are a lot of international organizations that have a number of standards. So IECEP is one of them, underwriter, UL, IEC, ETSI, IEEE, etc. Our goal, U.S. Building Council, etc. Our goal is to partner, and in fact we already are partnering with a lot of these organizations, because it's not going to be just our standard. So we're going to have certain standards in certain areas, but it's not going to be just our standards. We're going to be pointing and collaborating with a number of organizations. So this is a very inclusive and worldwide endeavor that we're doing.
Thank you. Please introduce yourself, sir.
I'm Bob Kelly from Guam, from Dixie, Maryland. Could you explain, as we're working on standards, one of your partner organizations is Dixie, how you see Dixie fitting into the smart cities with the infrastructure, the wiring, and what we're working on at the Dixie level?
Sure. So I think the acting Secretary said correctly, is about fiber. It's about fiber and copper. It's about having that connectivity. If you don't have an education around how to lay the fiber, what to do, how to manage and operate it, then we're not going to be able to build this at all. So what was so beautiful about Dixie is it has these standards, it also adopts TIA standards, but it also educates. So the whole education program that it offers is really vital in terms of enabling all of you to know what you can be doing and how to get involved and how to actually build this infrastructure that is the future of Manila. And so I invite you to take a look at Dixie and become educated in that. And one of the reasons that we're here as part of what Dixie is doing is that we anticipate having a partnership with Dixie to, they will be the educators for the TIA Smart Building Assessment. That is our goal. That's what our mission is. So I hope to achieve that.
Okay, I see 3 gentlemen queued in there.
Good morning, ma'am. I'm Engineer Gerard Tan, the Director of Access Network Planning of Globe Telecom. I'm also the Chief Engineer doing the Intelligent City Design for the telecommunication space of IoTs and, of course, on your topic. So, given that the TIA is basically an organization with such standard, how will you unify given the different views of each organization or even on each vendor or even on each R&D groups? They have different standards on different deployment area. What will be the role of TIA? Like for example, IEEE has different perspective view in terms of IoT deployment. 3GPP standard has its different thinking and understanding on such point. So what will be the role of TIA?
Sure, thank you for that question. The way we're approaching the assessment is very much to say, what is the capabilities and what's the functionality that we want to see in a smart building? So, whether someone is going to be adopting the IEEE perspectives, one, in the assessment itself, we're going to be pointing out there are different questions in part of the assessment. For each one of the questions, as far as we know the standards, whether they're ours or anybody else's, we're going to be pointing to those. So we're going to make sure that there's a holistic look and connection between what we've developed and what's already out there. But also, we're not saying and specifying you need to use IEEE architecture or something like that. We're saying we expect the functionality at a certain level. How you get there is up to you. So that allows the people who are in fact building that built environment to do whatever's going to be best for them. And so I also anticipate that right now we're doing a global benchmarking. I anticipate that over time it will get more refined so that things that are specific to, let's say, a country such as Manila, that actually we're hoping that it would be wonderful to partner with entities in Manila to say, you know, let's adjust the benchmarking tool and be specific for what we want to achieve here. And let's adopt this and let's blend it together and make something that's specific to Manila. So that would be something that we want to do together.
Thank you. Please.
Good morning. I'm Luis Nina, a member of IECEP. I'm also a member of KC. First, I would like to say that they're good. Mahusay, paano natin say the word? Mahusay is good. I mean, very good. Anyways, I just want to inform you that BMS, or Building Management, Integrated Building Systems, we've already done this in the Philippines a few years back, I think 4 years ago. 4 years ago, Globe Telecom headquarters is one of the most intelligent buildings in the Philippines right now, maybe in Asia. Okay? We have a lot of consultants here, electronic engineers, consultants, hindi pa kayong RMOA kanina, yung mga owners like si Rio, marami yung nakikita dito mga consultants. I can see so many consultants here. We just really need to connect to them because the electronics engineers do basically the building in terms of the specifications. So what I really want to see is for Big C, Madronio, and of course TIA to collaborate with the Filipino engineers in the Philippines to do what Gerard is saying, a standard for in the Philippines basically. Or we have a Philippine electronics code. And if this will be an IDS or intelligent building system in the Philippines, which we've already implemented and written, it'll be great.
Fantastic. Well, we can speak offline. It'd be great to speak with you further.
Okay, that'll be great.
And let's do that. Because I think one of the things that you touched on, what we're hoping, is that this assessment is something that the consultants will be able to help their clients to understand how you build a smart building. Because you know, it's not easy. And you need people to really guide that path. And maybe that's a role that we're hoping that you'll make use of the assessment as a tool to help in that process. Yes, sir.
By the way, this will be the last question. We're running out of time. I'm sorry. First will be the last question.
The last question. Dr. Romy Lagat, the president of the IECEP Foundation, also a program president of the Institute of Economics and Philippines. Under our law, the Republic Act 1990, one of the sections there is that under this law, the Board of Economics Engineers can promulgate and adopt standards. And one of the things we are doing, the IECEP, is that we adapt some standards and we also do standards that is applicable to the Philippines. So what I'd like to know now to us is that the possibility of adapting some of the standards that is applicable to the Philippines for these standards of TIA and maybe some of the standards of BC. So what would be the procedures? That we just do it cut and paste, or we can adapt the whole book, or there is some legal implication how we can do this thing, so that there are so many standards that are coming in, depending on the vendors. There are some vendors from the US, some vendors from the European countries, and now we are now being dependent by the Chinese. So whoever has the big deal, they become the standard. So what we like to do now is to put a real standard course for the use of the Philippines and how to do it.
Thank you. So what I observed is that the most successful, whether it's in terms of real estate development or urban development, that is when the municipalities or the governments or the entities that are doing the, in fact paying for the bill, that they're the ones that are specifying which standards need to be followed. So if the municipalities, if the government of Manila decides to say basic standards, TIA standards, UL standards, ASHRAE standards, etc., need to be followed, then they will need to be followed. Otherwise, the contracts will not be signed. So I would say that's the way to go. Whoever has the money gets to dictate what the needs are and what the specifications are, and that's where the power will lie. And that's what I offer as a suggestion for how the standards can start getting really implemented. Wonderful. Well, thank you again so much for your time and attention. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much for the excellent presentation. This afternoon, if there are some questions that you'd like to ask me.
Absolutely. Happy to see you.
Okay, Limor is here in Philippines for the first time. So let's give her a warm welcome.
Okay, that was a smart exchange of thoughts and ideas from our speaker and from our volunteer delegates who asked the questions. So right now, this is the most awaited portion of the day. We will be having now our lunch. But of course, we have our lunch here served, so this will be a buffet. You will be lining out to get your food. Okay? And then this afternoon, we'll be having 6 plenary sessions.